Welcome in everybody, welcome back to Grantham CPT. Today we're going to be flying the Beechcraft Baron 58, going down from the Hungarian wastelands today, flying up north towards the Czech Republic, one of my favourite places. It's going to be a 1 hour, roughly 1 hour 20 at the most, so welcome in. Please get seated, relax, get your drinks, snacks and anything else for the flight. And let's enjoy. So I'm out here in the, as usual, pre-startup. And yeah, just good to be back in the plane. I hope everyone's had a good week. I hope everybody's looking forward to more streams this week. And of course we have, I have more videos coming, which I really hope everybody's going to enjoy. So yeah, let's get started. No wasting time today. We have a good little flight, so we might as well get started. I'm going to pre-plan by putting the flight plan in first. Now it is VFR today, so it's no IFR messing around. We have a lovely little hop. There it is, so LHPP to LKTB. And of course it's loaded successfully, so there we go, straight VFR departure, and of course it'll be VFR arrival most likely. Unless of course there's a tower and ATC that gives us different, although today there's probably not going to be anybody available, because of course it is just one of those places that never really has ATC available, never really has any traffic, to be honest. Of course, pre-start, we should turn the avionics off, so let's turn them back off again. And we're going to turn the fuel on this time. Oh, they're already on. Nice. Today I'm going to do 2 engines at once. So let's stick the mixtures onto full rich. I'm going to stick the panel lights on just to make it a little bit bright for you all. Prop sync. Turn the bright lights up for you. Made a nice little panel shine. Okay, so what do we need now? We need our beacons and navigation lights. These tell the ground crew and everyone in the vicinity we're started, and also prepare the aircraft for travel. Probably because it's twin piston engine, you'd need your navs on, so obviously in a Cessna, as far as I'm aware, in a Cessna on VFR, you wouldn't really bother with nav lights in a daytime flight. Only at night time. I've never seen one use them unless they do. Okay, cool. Props fully forward. They should always be in the back position, by the way, prior to starting. I'm going to put them full forward on the manifold, or the throttle, whatever it is. When the boost pump's on for the peak fuel flow, as you can see there. Fuel flow's peaked, so turn them back off, and we can check the temperature. About 15, 16 degrees. It's actually pretty warm out here. Put them open a bit, or open the throttle slightly, and then in this case we're going to do one at a time, just to be on the safe side. So we're going to do left. Just look at this beautiful sheen on the engine. I love the wing of the Beechcraft Baron. They did a great job, and it's also a very big aircraft. Even though it's a GA plane, and obviously it's got 2 engines, but when you stand next to it in real life, you can see the wingspan length compared to in the game, and it just looks a lot bigger. So I've said it before, but the scale in the sim will always look slightly smaller compared to the real thing. Anyway, so there's the second one. Then we're going to stick the provided the engines are started, which you have, we'll stick the avionics on. Parking brake is indeed set. Chocks can be removed. Just gonna let the engines warm up a bit, guys. Transponder onto standby. Now for taxi, cross feed on the fuel pumps, or the fuel flow. That's also to help balance it out and balance the weight and stuff, but we need to sort that out anyway, which is what we should have done before starting. But of course the Beechcraft Baron, because it's a default aircraft, you have to change it in the iOS, so I guess it doesn't really matter what part of the flight you change it at. We're supposed to have 5 people, so I think we're already fully loaded. I think we've got enough fuel on board for the trip. 183 seems like enough. I haven't checked the fuel thing, but yeah, we're gonna do it by feel today. Cool. So it takes this runway. We use minimal amount of RPM there, and we'll get going. Just want to check the radios again. Just make sure nobody's online. Make sure we're tuned into the universal communication systems. And I'm going to set the heading bug on slightly early today. And I'm going to press the GA thing slightly early as well. As for takeoff, I'm literally just doing this VFR, so we're doing it how we like. We're just going to follow the wind direction, so it does say number 3-4. That would correspond with the wind direction, but it does mean a slight backtrack. I guess we could always just take off from runway 16. But we want to get into the wind and then get out of here. And also, according to the flight plan, it's a runway 16 as well, it seems. Let's check if there is any departures available. Oh, they do have departures at this airport. So if we wanted to do an IFR one, we could. And then when we arrive, they also have arrivals, and they have an approach. We also have an approach. When we get a bit closer, we can decide what we're going to do. Okay, so let's get the brakes off. Taxi lights coming on. Welcome everybody. I hope you've been enjoying the streams. I hope you enjoy aircraft. We're going to do a quick flight check, control check, ailerons, elevator. So we're going to look out the window, and we're going to actually check that it corresponds with the movement on the yoke. So left one is up, left one is down. That's perfect. This is just to check for any cross controls, because believe me guys, it actually happens quite a lot in aviation, general aviation, where they have engineers come on, or mechanics, and they do some work, and then of course they put the wires back and they put them back the wrong way, so it results in cross controls. Doing a slight high view as well to give you a better view of the airport. It's a nice little place. Hungary, my first time flying really VFR in this sort of region, and I think my first time to Brno as well. I can't pronounce it properly, you know me guys, I can't pronounce my airports. Whoa. Let's slow down on the taxiway, but yeah, a nice little flight. Czech Republic's always got pretty good weather as well. If you do prefer this view to this more laid back view, then let me know. This is a bit better for landing, I guess. I've used this to practice landings. It's nice and high, gives you the view of the nose there, and it just allows you to fine tune your landings so you can get it a bit more on point. If you want to see my short videos, you'll see I've just uploaded one of the Bahrain where there's a night landing or something. I think it was the one to excuse me, what we did the other day in Romania. And that was a pretty good landing, guys. It was pretty on point, and it was really, really soft touchdown. Okay, so in fact, we're going to do our strobes on, and I'm going to taxi down backtrack runway 16. Should say the airport name. This is the airport. LHPP is the ICAO. I know for a fact there's no traffic, so we're probably clear on the AC comms for now. Set our runway heading to the opposite direction, and we'll see with the course. Of course, there's the yellow arrow that will help navigation. And what we're going to do on the GPS, is going to select GPS so it follows the route, and as you can see, it's locked on. I'm going to pre-select navigation when we're in the air prior to the autopilot. I'm going to cruise at, since we're VFR, we need to stay in ground contact, probably about 3,000 or 4,000 feet. There will be airspace restrictions, of course. RPM 1700 and then 22. So I have been making a mistake actually, guys. I watched one of my landings and for some reason, or one of my startups, to make sure I was doing it right, see where I went wrong, and obviously I've done it right before, but for some reason I made a mistake. It's a simple one to make, and it's that the fuel pumps don't actually need to come on when the temperature is above 32. So I think I might have said keep them on when they're above, but actually keep them off. Yeah, keep them off, the fuel boost off if the outside air temperature is above 32 Celsius. Run-up spot, let's turn around there. We're going to do the run up there rather than the runway, keep it nice and free in case there's any other traffic in the area. Not the best, it's not actually a run-up spot guys, it's just a turnaround point. Okay, so let's advance our throttles. The engines have warmed up above 24 Celsius during the taxi. I'm going to just pull them at 1500 and then of course we need to stick the fuel back on, although that should be on before we do so. 1500. Check the voltmeters and the load meters. Just down here, everything's looking good. Big feather of the props. Can't really get much of a drop there unless you pull them right back. To do a magneto check at 1700, so let's go ahead and do that. Left side first. Not the biggest drop in the world. Bit of a big drop on the right side. I've just realised guys the volume might be a bit too loud for you to hear me. I'm really sorry about the volume being too high. Turn it down now. Anyway, magnetos, alternators, so left one working, right one. I can guarantee this aircraft probably won't have many issues. Even if you fly erratically, it probably won't fail. Pitot check. Fuel pumps are going to stay on actually for the remainder of the takeoff. 2200 RPM. Keep an eye on the brakes, make sure they're not going to fail. We'll keep your foot on them. And of course we do a nice little feather there, about 300 RPM. Or maybe around 300 RPM. Cool, flight controls were free and correct. Flaps were set to 0 at the moment. Ice protection needs to be off. Avionics is on. Okay, before takeoff checklist, let's get established on the runway properly. Runway 34. What a beautiful day in Hungary it is. Pre-flight checks, text lights off, landing lights on, the strobes are on. I already know the checklist, but we're going to do it properly anyway, so we're going to test that, then we're going to stick an altitude. We don't have a specific score code because we're doing VFR. Pre-takeoff briefing is complete. Transponder is on, mixtures are rich, props are fully forward, autopilot is off, yaw damper is off. Cow flaps are open, ice protection is not required, cabin door is secured, seatbelts and harnesses in place. Takeoff time. What's the local time? So local time here is 3:30 in the evening. I'm going to go ahead and I think we pressed control there to start it. I think that's working if we just leave it on there. Anyway, no the takeoff time, let's go. Rotate. gear up. Your damper coming on. I'm going to select the navigation switch to give us guidance. And we're going to go up to about 4,000 feet. It's a little bit turbulent here. Fuel pumps are coming off. Landing lights off. Ice protection is required. We don't need it today. We're above sufficient altitude. I'm going to reduce the throttle's propellers back to 2500 RPM. You should really do that between 500 and 1500 feet above ground level. I didn't bother with the Q&H today because, well, I'm just being one of those usual VFR pilots who doesn't do so. We are probably safe to see the autopilot on, I think, at this point, and then just continue to climb using the autopilot. Notice the pitch, guys. Notice how high up that pitch is, even at 120 knots. Try and get a good view for you. That's really stunning, though, the way these clouds have been improved over the last few months since the update. I really enjoyed them, and look at the shadows and the lighting. Yeah, the Baron is definitely the best aircraft on this game, believe it or not. And of course, Black Square have just released their Beechcraft Baron Professional for Microsoft Flight Simulator, which looks extremely well done as well. Right, we've gone a bit higher than I expected. We can still see the ground though, so we're probably alright to level off about 6,000 feet. According to the airport, we have a transition level of none because it's Class G airspace. Well, I'm going to level off at 5,000 and probably should have put the Q. Let's put the Q&H in, just so we have a little bit of a reference. It's a 1021. Okay, we're going to level off. So at this altitude, guys, 6,000 feet, we're still in a position to use 2300 RPMs. Let's reduce it back. So 2300 RPM, we're going to keep the manifold pressure nice and high. And we want 23 gallons of fuel. Or you could just lean it for peak fuel flow if you want. In this case, we're just going to stick with 23 gallons an hour. It's not the most efficient. So the most efficient would be probably somewhere down here. In fact, let's just lean it and make the most of the fuel we got. So let's lean it all the way back. Between 15 and 16 gallons an hour. If we check over here, it's giving us an ETA. It's not actually that long to the first waypoint. So this is the flight plan. We are doing VFR, but of course we still have waypoints. These might be DMEs or something. And we've got 2 and the total distance. Not very far at all, really. So we can hop the border. We've got a European passport. There's no need to worry about border control. Then we arrive runway 27. Our alternate airport today is Low Airport, so that's in Austria. Quite an interesting choice. I think that's Innsbruck, isn't it? Or is Low Innsbruck? It's somewhere in Austria nearby anyway. Yeah. So at the moment, of course, cruising over Hungary, and we'll be entering Czech Republic territory within the next sort of 40 minutes. We are cruising slightly high though. We need to be down to 4,000 feet. We don't want to intrude on their airspace, so at this point we're probably going to descend again. I'm going to use the autopilot for this. I'm going to just recall those back to the feathering about 1900 RPM. Okay, let's bring our props to 2300 RPM again. Slow down that descent rate. I'm probably not going to use full manifold pressure now. We've gone down to 4,000. I'll reduce it because if we're full, it's going to be well up to 2,500. So let's reduce it down to about 22 to 2,300 RPM. Excuse me, manifold pressure. There we go, nice fast cruise speed. And of course we've got 27 head knots headwind. So that put us down to 160, so we're actually alright. If we keep the manifold pressure high, that might help us get through that headwind. So let's do that. But of course if it was something like a tailwind or perhaps not as strong, you would probably reduce it at this altitude, I'd think. Yeah, 27 is quite a lot for the Baron, I'm not going to lie. That's over the recommended amounts for, especially for a crosswind landing. I'm sure it's alright in the air, guys. But for now, I'm going to take a little bit of a step away as usual. I'm going to let you all enjoy it. And I'll be here and I'll be back in a couple of minutes. But despite having 15 to 16 degrees, which was super warm when we took off, it's dropped down to near zero. It seems to be super cold in Hungary at the moment. It doesn't even look it. I suppose it's chilly autumn though, isn't it? So all that cold winter air will be blowing in. Just seasons are changing, aren't they? It's that time of the year. Let's hope that it's not going to affect our wings or anything, or our instruments. It shouldn't do unless we fly through clouds or something. I hope people like this Baron, Beechcraft Baron as well, the 5.8. It's certainly one of the more easy to handle, like, twin engine aircraft, general aviation anyway. And it's really nimble and agile, and it can land in the shortest of places, in the like most insane places. We've landed it at Loughler, I've landed it at Barrow Beach in Scotland, which was great. I did a landing at Saba Airport. That was a little bit rough, not my best landing, so I'm hoping to go back and redo it. But yeah, it's really versatile. And then there are things like the Piper Seneca, which also gets good reviews, and there's also a good model available for X-Plane 12 too. Okay, the arrival airport has a nice QNH for 1020, similar to what we're at now. I'm more interested in the ILS. It will be a VFR landing, but I want the ILS for guidance. So, 111, Category 1 approach, 11150. That's the VLOC 1, and then preferably when we get in the area we hope for some kind of second reference like an NDB, if there's one available. Actually we can find it on the chart, what am I thinking, we can just find it here in the airport. As you can see, it's a little bit bigger because this is an international one, I think. Still takes VFR flights. Nice sized runway, and then of course we taxi off to GA parking. There's GA General Aviation stands. We have aircraft maintenance, some hangars, apron for police car. Nice. Yeah, so possibly down Charlie and then Alpha. DME 114450. Transition altitude 5,000 feet, so we're under that. Just having a look at the approaches, just see what kind of angles. I mean, they're looking pretty good. Obviously from the south, that would probably be our approach if we were doing an RNAV. And of course they got an ILS, they got a VOR available and an RMP. Let's try the VOR approach. Not bad at all. We could do it, but we're, like say, going in visual, so there's no point of even looking at that. Let's get the airport chart and try and get that NDB if there's one available. Doesn't look like they've got one, that's a shame. Could have used that as the on the little ADF down here. If you are enjoying these flights, guys, in the Baron, just as I am, then please feel free to suggest a route in it, suggest a potential landing. As I say, it's versatile and I enjoy flying it. Using it with the Honeycomb yoke and throttle system is perfect. They seem to be made for one another. And this is actually one journey I want to do in this sort of area of the world, and just hopefully more in this area. I want to do some more in Romania. I want around the Black Sea, and in Ukraine as well would be nice. Moldova. You know, down to Serbia, all the Croatia, all the Balkan places. And today, of course, I didn't even mention it, but we are in fact contracted to deliver artifacts from the city of where we just left from Hungary and deliver them to the Czech Republic. Absolutely stunning. 5 out of 5 Hungary for your amazing landscapes and architecture and general city and town layouts. They are one of the better ones. And of course the autopilot disconnects quickly, guys, and back into the cockpit before we crash. Yeah, lovely views there from the back seat of the passenger. You got a lovely view over the lake. I may have to preset a view from here because it's too lovely, isn't it? Just that view over the wing on the left hand side behind the pilot. And it's not next to the door, so you don't have to worry about falling out. There's Bucharest. So excuse me, Budapest. Budapest Friends Airport. Yes, this lake is huge, guys. Look at the size of that. What's that, like 50 miles or something? 100 miles? That's massive. Of course, here's Austria, alternate airport, low. Wien Schwekat. And then off to our right. Got something here that isolated in its own airspace. Bratislava has a very strange little thing there right in the corner. Because Bratislava is that country above Hungary. And then of course Czech Republic. Oh wow. Just gets better, doesn't it? Look at this. Look at this view. These little hills and mountains. What bold adventures there are to be had in this part of the world, eh? Some amazing experiences up here in the air. And I've stood the pizza heat on because we are going a little bit cold now, and it's going to... Clock hasn't started like I expected. I see ET down there, but it's yeah, strange. Oh, now it starts. Okay, that's fine. 3:30, 4 o'clock. I think that's meant to be 2 hours ahead, so maybe 5 o'clock. I'll double check. Oh no, it is right, guys, it is right. They're only an hour ahead for some reason. You think they wouldn't... That's Central Eastern Thailand. It's pretty much the same as France. But you'd think they'd be at least 2 hours ahead. Let's go ahead and crack some of those cockpit lights on for you guys. I know when you're sitting back in the dark, it doesn't make much difference, but it will do because the sun's going down, as you can see. We do have ATC, but it's not available in our area. It's the Adriatic coast. And then there's somebody at LZIB Tower. Can't quite see that on the map. Might be a smaller airport. Okay, so we've been leaning the mixture quite aggressively here for a while, and still not. The CHT really hasn't got up full, despite being full manifold. Let's just increase the fuel flow to 2300, i.e. 23 gallons per hour. This is much better mapped, excuse me, the Aviator's tablet. Completely free plugin for X-Plane 12. I just learned as well that Better Pushback's just had an update, so I'll have to update that too. Don't really use it on the GA planes though, but yeah, this map here, you can use the built-in one for X-Plane. It's good, but it won't be as clear because it's a VFR thing. But this is more of a just generalised map, isn't it, with towns and cities. So you can see our clear route there past Bratislava in the Wien, i.e. Wien in Austria. And of course there's our target, Brno. All the way from, what's that lake there called? So Lake Balaton, I'll have to remember that and fly over it at some point. Maybe in a Cessna. As you can see there, we set off. We've got a good little route today. I think, like I say, these kind of legs, this kind of location are great. So next time, probably be from a similar place, or maybe we can go up in the mountains. Try and find a mountain airport, and maybe fly over to Poland from Bratislava. Excuse me, from Slovakia. Welcome in, by the way. Don't be afraid to chat. Obviously, there's nobody chatting, so usually the case on these streams. But if you are enjoying, just feel free to say something. You know, just let me know and give me some feedback. I'm more than open to it. If you want to say it's a bad landing, if you want to say it's a good one, absolutely welcome it. Let me know your favourite plane as well. I think the Beechcraft Baron is probably more popular than people actually let on. I think a lot of people have a sneaky fascination with it, and they accidentally fly it more than they say so. Especially with the black square just coming out. on the long stretch now, guys. 62 miles or 60 nautical miles. 21 minutes ETA to Mavor. And then from Mavor to LKTB, 38 nautical miles. We are supposed to be at 4,000 feet, but actually no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to attempt it this time. You know me, I like to have a good engine out scenario and do a one engine landing. Remember my flight I did to the east of England with an engine out. That actually went pretty smoothly, I have to say, for a deliberate engine failure. If you want to see more of that in the future, just let me know as well. I am going to step away again, so just be aware I won't be back on the mic for a little bit. Okay, good news everybody, there is in fact an NDB at the airport, and they got a DME there right over the airport as well, 2 guidelines. We're coming in runway 27, and as I say, we plan to go off at Charlie, possibly Bravo, maybe even before that depending on where we land. I'm going to taxi down Alpha to GA parking, which seems to be this little spot here, according to the chart anyway. I want to say chart, I mean the Aviation charts. Welcome in. Yeah, nice little flight this, a very cosy little experience. 11 minutes to go, 30 nautical miles. I tell you what though guys, before this flight I thought I'd learn a little bit of Hungarian, just to say a few things, but then I realised that out of all those Eastern European languages, and out of all those Balkan languages, that Hungarian is definitely in its own ballpark. It's extremely difficult just because of the pronunciation, but yeah, if you want to torture yourself and you like learning that sort of stuff, then Hungarian might be yours. It's definitely not the easiest. Oh, welcome in, the cat. You speak 25 languages. I mean, you're welcome to disagree with me, but it's very hard for me, personally. Maybe not the pronunciation, maybe that isn't as bad as I think. Generally, the grammar systems and the case systems. Which languages do you speak, by the way? Because 25 is an awful lot. I mean, a polyglot's like 4 or 5, aren't they? So 25 like super. What's that? Like god tier language level, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, Hungarian has 18 grammatical cases. That's insane. Portuguese, French, Hungarian, English, Icelandic, Spanish, Norwegian, Danish, Swedish, Finnish, Latvian. Jeez, wow, it's nice to find someone who speaks Latvian at last. Lithuanian, Estonian, Ukrainian, Russian, Turkish, Swahili, Indonesian, Japanese, Chinese, Korean, Hindi. The last 3 are... I mean, if you can speak Latvian, right, just based on Latvian and Hungarian, hats off to you. But 25 is a bit much. I think we all know that that's extremely difficult, the languages you've put in chat as well. Japanese and Chinese, I mean, you're just like speaking the entire world right now. Blimey. I'm sure that people disagree with you, because like I say, you put some of the hardest languages in the world in there, so you're obviously not going to be C plus on them, are you? It is nice to meet someone though who has a passion for languages. That's very nice. I love learning a little bit myself. Not a lot, just enough to get around, you know. But hello, thank you, goodbye. Oh wow, really? 6 to 7? Yeah, 6 to 7 months is good. I'd get you to a basic level. I'm curious though, how long did it take you? Because the Latvian, it's blowing me away a little bit. How long did it take to learn to do the Latvian? Because it's that one is also very tricky, and it's pretty much dying out. It's not very common anymore. Even in places like Riga, it's not really spoken. Or if it is, it's very rarely. The plane is shaking a lot. It's just the rudder control. It's a little bit off, although the turbulence has increased a little bit, hasn't it? So, to be fair, we're going into a 30-knot headwind, so we're doing alright. Going over here, so there's actually one airplane there already. Two and a half years, jeez. All I learned was like Labdian, Labritz, Labvaca, things like that, and I knew straight away I was never going to learn it. But 2.5 years, yeah, I congratulate you, man, if you did that. Or lady, of course. I think we also have some like regular Danish viewers as well. I know we've definitely got Germans, so Guten Tag to them. Anyway, it's good to meet you. Anyway, welcome in. I hope you're enjoying the streams and the videos. There'll be a short coming out tonight of a Beechcraft bar in London in the dark. I hope you all enjoy it. Let's just cycle the yaw damper a little bit. I don't know how to get rid of this. It's since using the Honeycomb yoke that it will cause the rudder to shake erratically during the flight. If we turn the G-loaded camera off, everything looks pretty normal. Still see the plane moving about a lot though. I guess if I get my own pair of rudder paddles, which I still don't have yet, it's like the last item for me to complete this little setup, and then it should hopefully, you know, resolve the issues with the shakiness. Right, just about going into night time, almost evening. So we're going to do a VFR approach here, visual approach into Brno Airport. The NDB should be getting picked up soon as well. Let's go ahead and activate it. And we'll turn the... we are picking up the ILS already. And we're also picking up the DME, so let's do that. Okay, runway 27, let's set our heading to runway 270. Usually it's not accurate, so we can check the actual runway heading here. I have mentioned it before, but you'll find it on the charts. And it'll give you like an accurate heading then for the runway. The best thing to do actually is go onto approach. Let's just say we're going to do an ILS. It's not an actual ILS, of course. Then we'd want the heading that's 272 for the runway. So 272 is the heading we need to be going. And as I say, when we park off, we'll be down Alpha and then switch ourselves on GA stands. I think the cat has also inspired me to at least learn another language. I don't think I'll get to 25 languages, but I'll definitely put effort into another one. I would like to learn a bit of Hungarian actually, and a bit more Latvian, so I'll continue with those. Who knows, maybe in a few months I'm able to say 3 or 4 words. Fingers crossed. No ATC available, but we expect this, don't we, on our flights? Most of the time there won't be ATCs, it'll be all universal communications, 122.8 on communication 1. And we don't have any ATS, but I know the QNH is 1020. I'm going to set that now. The transition level is about 5,000 feet. We don't need to transition, we're just going to stick at where we are. 1020, isn't it? So, change them on the backup as well. Let's just go ahead and lean our fuel. We are in fact in the yellow zone now, so we need to land pretty shortly, otherwise we're going to have some issues with fuel flow. We can actually lower it a little bit more than 14 per hour there, and the peak flow, yeah, about 14 gallons per hour for the peak flow on this aircraft at the moment, 4,000 feet. The reason I'm doing this, guys, is just to preserve the fuel more than anything. One thing I'd like to see, actually, this is obviously a different variant of Beechcraft bearing to the usual. I know that the black square one will probably have things like an altitude thing up here, they can pre-select for the autopilot. Now that is usual on the Barons, depending on what you're flying, of course. But on this one they've gone for a bit basic layout, a bit more old school, I guess. Or maybe even a bit more modern. This one's a little bit more modern perhaps than the black square one. You have to let me know your thoughts on it. Okay, we're not long from landing now. I think this is going to take us directly to the airport because we're not tuned and approaching. In that case, we may as well tune a procedure for the approach. Even though we're not going to use one, we are going to use it to get us aligned with the runway instead of flying it manually. We are supposed to be VFR after all, so I guess we should be flying it hand flown really. We'll do the approach hand flown. Let's do, so I'm just going to select ILS just to keep it easy. They do have an NDB available. They do have one of these, but in this case we can go CI27. Let's go ahead and activate that. And as you can see, that's going to take us to the centre fix. So as you can see, a little course correction there, and then that's going to take us hopefully out of the headwind for a little bit, which is still at 31 knots. So we're actually going to be landing, as I say, a little bit above, maybe not above what we're supposed to be landing at, but above what I'd feel comfortable doing it in. Okay, let's do some pre-flight checks, or excuse me, some pre-landing checks. So ATIS information is checked, 1020 QNH. The ice protection is on at the moment for pitos just because it is a little bit cold, it's almost freezing. Cow flaps are closed. We're going to bring that mixture full rich now in preparation for landing. The engine temperatures are pretty stable actually. Landing lights can come on as well. Fuel boost pumps. Now it says off, but you can put them on if you want to. Seatbelts fastened and secures, doors are locked, etc. What we also need to do, guys, is bring the mixture and the propellers fully forward. So before landing we would bring them fully forward. I'm not going to do it just yet because we're not within range of final. When we get them final, we'll bring them fully forward. And we'll bring the manifold pressure back. But at the moment we're struggling because they're currently going at 146. So a little bit of a difference there in the speed because of the winds. At night time, welcome in PK at night time, if I move the view to top of the left engine, I have some weird white light that isn't extinguished. So I know exactly what you're talking about, and I can help you instantly. So what you do is, this white light is down here, and it's called an ice light. And as you can see, if you mean this white light, it's simply the ice protection thing. So it's down here. Just, you may not be able to see it because the yoke covers it up. If you're talking about something else, best thing to do is just perhaps put a picture on YouTube or something so I can see it, and send it me, and I'll get back to you on it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's just the anti-ice light that you're seeing. As I say, you can hit Y on the keyboard and it'll vanish your yoke, and you should get a better view here of these switches down here on the panel. Some of these air conditioning ones don't work, but that's fine. We don't actually need them. And some of these here don't work either. But most of these up here do on the, as you can see on these switches. Right, cool. So I'm going to bring the props fully forward now. I'm going to bring that manifold pressure back. We're going to start to slow down a bit. Landing speed today, since we're fully loaded, will be about 190 to 100 knots. With power on until we get about 10 feet above the ground. Okay, good, Pete. I'm really glad that that has helped you, because I know that some people... I don't know about most people, but I know if you fly like mostly commercial airliners, you won't know that because you won't be able to see the wings, and they won't have the, you know, you won't have the visibility. But on these little aircraft, you can in fact see it. It's not great to see it now, but it is there, and that's just to check for ice build-up during flights. To be honest, pilots have crashed because of that, because they've, not because the light's been on, but because they've not seen the ice on the wings and they've not turned the anti-ice on. It's a big cause of crashes in general aviation, is ice build-up. Okay, run fine on runway 27. Let's slow down properly. So I'm going to bring those manifold pressure right back. Okay, and now we're going to select approach, and maybe we'll lock onto the ILS, who knows. Aircraft there, probably taxiing down. Brno traffic. Golf Alpha Sierra Tango Hotel is final. Runway 27, Brno traffic. I'm going to take over control in a sec. Ugh. Brilliant. So the aircraft on the ground there giving us some ATC. We're on a little bit high here. Let's get a little bit more established. Just bring that manifold right back. Let's get our flaps. Your damper off. As you can see, we've got 3 nautical miles until final. We should probably be down about 2,000 feet for this approach. In this situation, I'm going to do something else. I'm going to reduce the propellers rather than the manifold. Bring them right back just to get down in time. I know, yeah, way too high, but we're not quite on final, so we got a little bit of time there to descend. Brno, we're not far off. You've got time. We haven't got time to take off. Go fast. The area is Tango Hotel.
Okay, so run 3 hotels will be depart on the 27 flight. Wanna check?
I mean, if he does take off, that's probably not a good thing, is it? Let's get our props fully forward again. Let's just idle our manifold pressure for the sake of it. Gears coming down, and full flaps were way too high. Probably the probably the worst approach I've ever done. We were too high at 4,000. Yeah, so 2,000 is like an average approach height. I love the Czech Republic so much. The airports are just great to fly into. The same with Serbia. As you can see, we've gone down now to an appropriate height. The approach is not bad up to now. It's going pretty well. I mean, we wouldn't really go around at that point. Maybe a little bit closer we would. He's taken off though. That's good timing. So I hope he has a nice flight. You gotta keep it nice and light on the controls. If you pull back too hard, it'll flare too high. There we go, so we got the puppy lights. On 2 red, 2 white. Gonna keep that manifold pressure high so we don't drop. About 1600 RPM. Middle marker. Oh, a slight hard touchdown. Slightly hard there in the end. Probably didn't flare enough. Anyway, flaps up. Cow flaps open. Taxi lights on. I was going to say 4 out of 5, but that was a pretty good landing. It was just slightly hard on the rear end. 4.2 out of 10, that's bloody awful, isn't it? Right, what do we need to do? So landing lights off, we'll turn the strobe lights off. By the way guys, I am following a real world checklist. This is not a in-game checklist, it's a real world checklist. Transponder to standby. Ice protection coming off. So heater should be turned off, but we don't have any heater functionality in the aircraft. Yeah, it was pretty hard, I agree with you. Although the Baron can take quite a beating, it can land pretty hard and still survive. As you probably know that, guys, from my bloody Sabre landing. Same as the Lucklet Airport, pretty hard landings, but we still didn't break the landing gear. General Aviation parking's a little bit further down. I'm pretty sure there's that little square there just off of Alpha. I hope you've enjoyed the flight, everybody. It's been a real pleasure again to conduct it and to fly this route especially. And more Balkan adventures. This is going to be an independent series with the Beechcraft Baron now flying throughout the Balkans, so I hope everyone's going to be on board for it. And also guys, stick around if you want to see the replay. I am going to watch the replay from outside. Can all have a good laugh at it. Okay, just off here to our right will do. There it is. There's no need to do an engine run up on shutdown. No, I should mention that some aircraft sometimes require that check. Alright, we're free to park where we want. It's empty. Let's assume we own the hangar. We own this little hangar here. We've paid the rent. Let's go ahead and park up. Cool. Okay, shutdown checklist. Throttles are about 1000 RPM. Avionics off. All the nav lights and the panel switches. Mixtures to cut off. Alternator and battery off as well. And it's up to you whether you move the fuel's actually gone into the cut-off position, but it's up to you, I guess. It probably should be in the cut-off position. Okay, guys, stick around for the replay. Like I say, great flight, a great experience here in the Balkanese area. I really want to fly here again. Thank you very much.